You've probably thought about working in a nice office with views high above the city. You've probably thought about the perks of the job too, like the conveniently located office gym. And you've probably thought about the prospect of bonding with your new colleagues over lunch in the office cafeteria. But have you stopped to think about what your first boss will be like? Or how you'll work with one another? Or what about how you'll use this relationship in a way that will help you grow and develop? These are all very valid questions and concerns, and thinking about them in advance can only help you succeed in your role and get the most you can out of your working relationship with your boss. However, no two bosses are made alike, so it's very important to tailor your approach to your particular boss. Here, we'll introduce 4 types of tough bosses you can run into on the job, and some strategies on how to work with them successfully. You may have a demanding boss with very high expectations of you and your work. You may have a boss who is very hands-off in their leadership style, expecting you to fill in the blanks when they are unclear with you. You may have an indecisive boss who has a hard time committing to making decisions and is constantly changing their mind. Or, you may have a boss who is new to the company and is still trying to find their way in this new role in an unfamiliar environment.
How do you work with a demanding boss? First, according to design thinking requirement, understand your boss' expectation by discussing each business target in the scorecard. Understand the background and consideration behind his priority setting. Allocating your effort and time according to your boss' expectation and priority setting helps you to work more effectively and perform better. Second, build your credit. Regular update your progress. Always communicate the estimated result and finish timing. Commit your promises. Keep these habits consistently. These actions really build your credit and let your boss feel you are reliable. Third, understand your boss' personality and build the emotional bonding with him in informal ways. That helps you to have smooth communication and collaboration with him.
For dealing with a hands-off boss, here are some suggestions. Sometimes your boss looks hands-off just because she doesn't know you have any problem. So, the first thing to deal with a hands-off boss is to make sure she is in the loop and keep updating her the progress. Try to get her involved, always CC her the important emails and report your work regularly. Also, ask help from your boss when you really need. Asking help doesn't mean you are unable to handle your work. The boss has a responsibility to manage the team to work properly. Ask if she could help you solve the problem and let her play her role. If you try the 2 things mentioned earlier and it still doesn't work, try to get insight and learn experience from your peers. You are not the first one or the only one facing such difficulty. Learning from the experienced peers will help you avoid detours and adapt to the company culture and leadership style of your boss. Observe how your peers deal with their hands-off boss and speak with them to figure out what might work and what might not.
How can we deal with the indecisive boss? Here are the suggestions. First, make sure to ask your boss questions. You could ask some strategic questions to help your boss determine what steps they will need to take next. Your boss could then take your suggestions and push the project further. Second, be head-on. You should communicate with your boss face-to-face. In meetings, express your ideas and help your boss find blind spots. Also, lay your frustrations out on the table politely to help your boss realize his weaknesses and make changes.
Here are some suggestions on how to work with a new boss. When dealing with a new boss, it is important to first ease into your working relationship. Seeing as your boss is new to the company and unfamiliar with its inner workings, it may be best to not drown them in information. Start by introducing them to one initiative in detail as opposed to inundating them with the details of all of your work. It is also important to figure out what your boss's preferred style of working is and to find ways to support their preferences. For instance, if they like to delegate work, perhaps suggest instituting a weekly meeting to keep them in the loop on everyone's progress. Most importantly, however, you must maintain honesty with your boss. Upon joining the company in this new position of power, many people will come to them with their thoughts, opinions, and concerns. If you show yourself as someone reliable and truthful, particularly early on when they are still finding their footing, they will be appreciative of your candor. Today we've introduced 4 different types of difficult bosses you may encounter when you join the working world. Although there are many more types of difficult bosses than these, we hope that the strategies we provided will be helpful if you one day find yourself working for one of these 4 types of bosses. Thank you for your time and best of luck, Team 12.